If you woke up in the dead of night to the sound of a heavy iron dagger slamming into your front door, with a hemp rope swinging in the dark, you had a serious problem. That violent discovery meant you had exactly 3 weeks to pack everything you own and run. If you stayed, you would face a shadow court. This served as a formal, legal claim of jurisdiction, guaranteed by the steel blade of a specific medieval weapon. You had just been marked by history's most terrifyingly methodical vigilante justice system. There was no angry mob, only quiet, calculated process. By the year 1500, Central Europe was filled with prosperous towns and beautiful stone architecture. To a passing traveler, society looked perfectly stable. Underneath that facade, the legal infrastructure of the Holy Roman Empire had completely collapsed. This map of the era reveals hundreds of disconnected, lawless territories, mostly run by corrupt local lords. Into that massive power vacuum stepped the Holy Vehme. They operated as a lethal parallel state, eventually commanding a network of over 100,000 secret operatives. In this era, when official authorities became corrupt predators, everyday citizens felt forced to build their own ruthless, hidden systems to enforce a sense of order. Phase 1 of their process was the summons. This was handled by the Freischaffen, or free justices, the covert operatives tasked with tracking targets down. To join their ranks, an operative had to swear an extreme blood oath. If they ever breathed a word about the society's secrets, their tongue would be ripped out through the back of their neck. These executioners were your local blacksmiths, merchants, and even your neighbors. They lived completely normal lives, hiding in plain sight. During Phase 2, the 3-week waiting period, you were completely trapped. This pyramid diagram shows how a massive base of everyday operatives was protected from above by a tiny tier of shielded nobles, granting the whole network absolute political immunity. This created a flawless systemic trap. You were locked in a town where the people actively hunting you were protected by the highest levels of government. If you wisely decided to flee and missed your court date, Phase 3 began. Deep in an isolated forest at midnight, the Shadow Court convened. Looking at this historical document, you see how incredibly rigid their procedures were. They methodically recorded every decision in dense German script. Once your name was entered into their ledgers, sometimes written in blood-red ink, you were officially stripped of human rights. By legally redefining a living human being as a sanctioned walking corpse, the judges successfully erased any moral hesitation their operatives might feel about killing you. That triggered Phase 4, absolute execution. From that second forward, any operative who spotted you was legally obligated to kill you on sight. These 16th century executions were messy and chaotic. They were intentionally designed to be highly visible public warnings to anyone else who might break the rules. To finish the job, operatives embedded a Vehmic dagger straight into the hanging tree. That was their official signature, claiming legal jurisdiction over the corpse. Seeing that specific blade left behind terrified local sheriffs. It was a direct signal to drop any official murder investigations immediately. The court held its authority through total psychological dominance. They could turn an obvious murder scene into an untouchable legal boundary. Over time, the absolute authority of the Vehme became intoxicating. They eventually succumbed to the exact same corruption they were created to eradicate. Operatives started weaponizing their immunity to settle personal vendettas and eliminate business rivals. The chaos escalated until emperors were forced to systematically hunt down and dismantle the entire network. The history of the Vehme suggests that while shadow systems can fill a vacuum when civilized law fails, a secret system without oversight is highly susceptible to decaying into the same tyranny it meant to stop. If your town completely lost its police force tomorrow, would you support a secret shadow system like the Vehme to keep order? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.